Hello YouTube, thought I'd do a quick video here. I've been doing a lot of behind the scenes. I've been setting up my workbench, trying to get things all set up here. As you can see, I have a digital microscope now, which makes things a lot easier. At the time when I was modifying my Redivis RT97 GMRS 2A radar repeater, I did not have this. So as you can see in front of you, I have my circuit board for my repeater is actually in the holder here. And you can see the wires I've added. I didn't do too bad of a job considering I was using a jeweler's loop at the time, which is if you look in the bottom corner of your screen, there's another camera I have here. But this is what I was using before. And it worked, but it definitely very difficult. You got to be really, really close to your work when you use that. So, and I had to, the wires are so fine, I had to glue the wires to the circuit board, otherwise they'd break right off. So, that's how I did that. To kind of put this in perspective and how much magnification we're talking about, here is a scope probe, or not a scope probe, a meter probe I meant. Digital multimeter probe, right here. Now, that same probe underneath the microscope, right here, that's the tip of it. Okay, this black stuff is actually a Sharpie I wrote on the circuit board. That's how much detail this scope has. It's actually markings of a Sharpie. It's the ink's not even dry. Look at that. You can see it. Look at that. There's even a hair here you can see. Look at that. Unbelievable. So, as I said a little bit ago, this is my Redivis RT97 GMRS repeater circuit board. I'm trying to modify, try to put a DB9 connector on it. Now with the digital scope, I will be able to do a lot easier, be able to see what's going on a lot better. The digital microscope I have works great. Now the picture you're seeing that I'm using making this video, it's not the picture I'm seeing. Let me explain what I mean by that. This particular digital microscope has an HDMI output and an output for a computer. Well, for some particular reason, the geniuses who made this particular digital microscope does not allow me to do both at the same time. Now, I tried many different ways. I could not get it to work. It's either one or the other. Either you use the HDMI output and hook it up to a bigger monitor, or you use the USB output and hook it up to your computer. Well, I don't like that. I like to have it to do both. So I end up taking the HDMI output off the digital scope, running it through a splitter. I split one cable goes to a 32-inch monitor, and the other cable goes to a HDMI to USB capture card, and that's how I'm able to do it at the same time. I can make a video on my computer monitor and then also view the scope on a 32-inch. So the picture I see on the 32-inch monitor is a lot sharper, a lot better color than what you're seeing now. And maybe perhaps I have to fiddle around with the monitor settings on this 24-inch monitor. So maybe that might be the part of it. Or maybe perhaps it's the capture card that I'm using to be able to have it be fed into the computer. And I'm using like I said before, an HDMI to USB capture card. So maybe I'm losing some resolution there. I do not know. That's one thing I don't like about this digital scope. The other thing I don't like about this digital scope is that it's on a stand. Now, if you got smaller items, the arm on the stand goes out so far, life is good. But if you get a bigger circuit board in there, you're going to have a problem trying to get to the scope to go to the area that you need to see. So I did not realize how far out you could go at the time when I ordered this. So after I got it in, I've been playing with it. I noticed that I don't like how I can only move the arm so far. Okay. So I ordered another digital microscope, and that one is on a arm assembly. It's a big long arm. I can move it all over the place. In, out, up, down, side, right, all over. So that will be here in probably about, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks or something like that. So in the meantime, we're going to use this one. And, other than that, it works great. The only two little things, like I said, is there's only so much adjustments in the arm. Like I said, for a bigger circuit board, that might be a problem. And you can only do either HDMI out or computer out. You can't do both. I don't like that either. So those are the two things I don't like about this digital microscope. Other than that, the picture looks decent. Like I said, from what you're seeing is not what I'm seeing, but it looks pretty decent considering. Let me go ahead and move this around. Like I said, this is the Retevis RT97 GMRS 2A repeater circuit board I have here in the holder. And you can see, you can read the component numbers very easy. So that's kind of neat. There's the chip. That's the 1846S chip, and that's the one I'm trying to get my pins. I'm close. I'm very, very close of getting this thing to work. I just got to get the transmit part to work, and I think I'll be done. So hopefully we'll get that to, get that pretty soon. Now with this digital microscope, I can actually see things a lot easier. I was trying to solder onto the pins on the chip, which I actually did very well using the jeweler's loop. These pins here were supposed to be transmit, and if you put it on a high, it should activate the repeater. It did not. I don't think these pins are being used because I do not see any tracings going off. Like here, like this pin here, you can see the trace coming off and going to components. Here I don't see any. Now maybe this is a double circuit board, so I do see some plate throughs, so it might be a double circuit board. So maybe perhaps there's another trace I cannot see, but when I activate this pin, it didn't do nothing on the repeater. Did not activate the repeater, so I'm guessing this pin's not being used. So that's that. And there's another good example. This black is actually a Sharpie. I marked the circuit board with a Sharpie, and look at that. I mean, that's how much detail I'm seeing here. Look at that. That's just amazing. So that's a Sharpie. That's what that black spot is. Another solder here on this transistor. I was told that will activate it. This did not. I got to remove that wire. So, at any rate, that's what we've been doing. So hopefully we'll get all this stuff straightened out, and I'll be able to get some videos coming out pretty quick. I just want to do a quick video on this, kind of give you a heads up what's going on. So if you have any questions or comments, please post them down below. Please subscribe, and thank you, and have a good day.